They say that, folks, I've been told this by high up folks. They say, listen, Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. I never said this because the media go crazy with it, but I've talked to people that are in protective details. I mean, they're scared of her, and they say, listen, she's a frickin' demon and she stinks, and so does Obama. And I go, like what? Sulfur.
As now, the Labor Party is finally expected to confirm its position on the same-sex marriage plebiscite after a party meeting today.
It comes after the government released draft changes to the Marriage Act in the hope of securing Labor support for the plebiscite. 7 News political reporter Olivia Leeming joins us now from Parliament House. Olivia, what changes has the coalition made to this draft bill?
Well, they're relatively minor. Sam and Koshi, good morning. Attorney General George Brandis took these draft changes to Cabinet last night so that this bill would not only legalise same-sex marriage, but would also include protections for religious ministers and celebrants who are opposed to it so that they wouldn't have to perform these ceremonies. It would also see same-sex weddings overseas recognised in Australia. Some of the Conservatives in the coalition, they want these changes to go even further. They want protections for small businesses like wedding cake makers so that they could refuse service to gay and lesbian couples who want to get married. No doubt they'll air their views on this issue when these changes are put to the coalition party room later today.
A disturbing viral trend featuring clowns has made its way to Perth, triggering a warning by police. This security footage was apparently captured at a Kelmscott home. A prankster dressed as a clown to scare members of the public. The craze began in the US and has quickly spread to other countries. WA police say they've received no complaints but have warned there's a fine line between a harmless prank and creating fear.
Well, a couple in Wisconsin facing charges. They are accused of leaving their 4-year-old alone at home to participate in a clown prank. Police in Menasha releasing this dash cam video of 2 men dressed as clowns suspected of chasing cars.
47 or 441.
Denver.
Guys, make sure to keep your hand where we can see them, alright?
217 out there.
9276.
Why don't you guys come up to this barrier right here? Go ahead and put your butts against it.
634.
A woman who drove them around was nearby, and police say she and one of the men left their child home alone. Well, they could now face charges. The creepy clown craze has spread across the pond. People in central England report being chased by clowns with chainsaws and knives.
We was standing in the pub and he was by the doorway and he was macking and saying he's going to slit our throats and stuff. So it was scary.
And now you've heard of the so-called superbug, bacteria so resistant to antibiotics they can't be cured. So what if the superbug epidemic was even worse than we've been telling you? A lot worse. 10 News reporter Eric Glasser tonight with the results of a new study that suggests just that.
2 weeks ago, Sarah West went to the hospital with a thyroid issue and the whole time insisted on wearing a surgical mask
to make sure I didn't catch anything that was floating around in the hospital.
Her fear? Going in for one problem, but by the time she left,
it's getting something worse.
Now, a new study from Reuters concludes Sarah's fears are well-founded, that an epidemic of hospital-acquired bacterial infections like MRSA are killing people in this country, but going vastly unreported.
It's absolutely in every case the physician's call.
Steve Heward with the Florida Department of Health says it's only their job to make sure death certificates are properly completed. The state records what doctors tell them.
What they put on there is what we put on the official form, and that's what officially goes in.
That, the study suggests, creates a conflict of interest. Hospitals and nursing homes looking to avoid lawsuits, citing the initial reason a patient was admitted when recording cause of death.
What they determine the cause of death is, and that's what it is.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, about 23,000 people around the country die each year from superbug infections. But Reuters reviewed the death certificates and found it was much worse than that, close to 180,000.
The study found there may be a couple of other reasons that superbugs are left off the death certificate, perhaps a lack of training or lab results that take too long to get back. But critics say the public has a right to know just how widespread this problem is. And until they do, they fear it won't be properly addressed.
It is a time-honored tradition at high schools across our region. Homecoming often coincides with football season, and it's usually a spirited event.
Most schools hold dances and usually pick students to be the homecoming king and queen. But this year, Bethesda Chevy Chase High School is taking a different approach to homecoming that many say is more welcoming than in years past. Fox 5's Matt Ackland is live in Bethesda to explain it. Matt.
Hey guys, yeah, it is homecoming, and that means there's a big homecoming game tonight. Students are excited about that, but they're also excited about the new homecoming court. And as you were saying, it's a bit different this time. It's going to be a gender neutral. That means that it could be a male and female. It could be two males. It could be two females. Basically, the way that this all works is that the students voted, and the two students who get the most votes will be announced at halftime, as that always happens at the homecoming game. And then they will decide, the two students who are chosen, whether they want to be called a king, a queen, or just a royal. Many of the students we talked to say they're proud of this decision, and they think it will encourage other schools to follow, but not all agree. First, let's hear from the principal on this.
Our student leaders, the student government officers really took the lead on this initiative, and it was all really about making sure that we don't have any structures at the school.
Happening now in Wisconsin, a creepy YouTube video is giving police potential clues in a 7-year-old cold case. And we need to warn you at the outset, some elements of this case are extremely disturbing. Take a look at this man. Do you recognize his face? He appears in that video telling a friend he has a new girlfriend. Then he opens a door to show a girl tied up and screaming on the floor of what appears to be a tiny bathroom. Now, that video posted 2 months to the day after 15-year-old Kayla Berg vanished in Wisconsin. It has since, just this morning, been taken down. Antigo, Wisconsin police just recently became aware of the video, and they want to know a lot more about it. Chief Eric Roller of the Antigo, Wisconsin Police Force joins us on the phone. Chief, first of all, the latest on the investigation. You just became aware of this video. Do you know who that guy is?
No, we've not been able to identify that subject at this time yet.
All right. The video has been on the web for 7 years, but nobody connected it to Kayla's case until just recently?
Right. We just got aware of it this past weekend when somebody doing their own investigation on the video and then missing females tied to that time frame related it to our missing girl, Kayla Berg, and then sent us the video. And that's the first time that we had seen that video or been aware of that video.
Well, we're not going to show the video because I said it's quite disturbing, but I do think it's important that people hear this guy speak. I mean, it's been 7 years. He may have changed his appearance, dyed his hair, lost some weight, lost the glasses, but you can't change a voice. We want to play some of this for our viewers right now.
I was at the mall today, and guess what happened? I met the most wonderful girl. We went shopping at JCPenney's, and she tried on a lot of clothes. And she ended up buying a whole
So the video
lot,
lasts
you know what I mean?
less than a minute, but I want to show viewers some of what happens next. He goes to what appears to be a basement room, throws open the door, and on the floor there is a young girl bound and gagged. She appears to be screaming, "Why are you doing this?" Chief, could that girl be Kayla?
Yeah, it's a possibility. There's similar characteristics that she has in the video to our missing girl, and it's something that we need to investigate and make sure that it is or isn't.
It's my understanding Kayla's mother has seen the video and believes that that is her daughter. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, she has seen that and has made those comments.
The voice matches, the size of the girl who's bound and gagged on the floor matches?
Right.
We're on your front doorstep.
That's what the Ku Klux Klan let people know over the weekend. KKK recruitment flyers were found by students at Clemson University Friday night.
Now university police are investigating. 7 News reporter Aaron Rogers spoke to Clemson students and staff and a KKK member about these flyers.
It is very unsettling at first.
Clemson student Wanye Pridgen is talking about when he saw this flyer
for the first time.
Not something I would expect on this campus.
Clemson University police are investigating the flyers that were found at apartment doorways, but they also say this is not an isolated situation since these flyers were found around Oconee County.
By going out and distributing our literature, we're letting people know that, yes, we very much are still relevant. We very much are here.
When I spoke to Rob Locklear, he says they didn't target the campus. He says they just put their flyers where they know there's a lot of people. Locklear says the KKK is not a hate group, but Southern Poverty Law Center lists them as one. Some say these flyers can end up in the wrong hands.
I do believe it can disrupt those with the minds that have the activity of being mean.
And says the group has no place at the college campus.
The KKK want to bring in such divisive ways when we're trying to unite as Clemson University.
In Clemson, Aaron Rodgers, 7 News.
Clemson University police say they had 2 other racial incidents on campus over the past week with people using racial slurs. It's not really known if those incidents were connected to the flyers. However, since they were reported so quickly, authorities were able to find the people behind it and stop it.
A Georgia educator is out of a job after posting a racist statement about the First Lady on Facebook. Officials say they found out that school professional Jane Wood Allen had made posts about Michelle Obama on her personal Facebook. One post read, quote, "This poor gorilla, how is she going to function in the real world by not having all of her luxurious vacations paid for anymore?" Parents say they understand freedom of speech, but they say teachers have a higher standard.
When it comes to representing a school, Chastity Elementary, I think you need to really watch it because these kids are our future.
She's putting it on social media. She may be putting it in the classroom, and that's not okay with me.
The school released a statement that reads, Jane Wood Allen has been relieved from duty and is no longer an employee of Forsyth County Schools. Racism and discrimination are not tolerated in our school district. We're committed to ongoing staff training on the acceptance of all individuals.
I mean, she is an abject, psychopathic demon from hell that as soon as she gets into power is going to try to destroy the planet.
She's worked like a demon, as you know, as Secretary of State. And
we came, we saw, he died.
What difference at this point does it make?
And there's only one candidate in this race who understands that democracy in a big, diverse country doesn't work if you constantly demonize each other. Demonize each other.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
And I mean that literally, by the way. I was reading the other day, there's a guy on the radio who apparently Trump's on his show frequently. He said, me and Hillary are demons.
I'm telling you, she is a demon. This is biblical. She's going to launch a nuclear war.
Said we smell like sulfur. Ain't that something? Now, I mean, come on, people.
You can't wash that evil off, man, on Hillary. I'm not kidding. People say, folks, I've been told this by high-up folks. They say, listen, Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. I never said this because the media go crazy with it, but I've talked to people that are in protective details. I mean, they're scared of her, and they say, listen, she's a frickin' demon and she stinks, and so does Obama. And I go, like what? Sulfur. They smell like hell.
On November 8th, the arrogance of Washington, D.C. will come face to face with the righteous verdict of the American voter. It's about time.
So much of what he's just said is not right, but he gets to run his campaign any way he chooses.